Hey everyone, welcome back to SoCal Sports Report. I am here with my co-host Bobby DeMiro. My name is Elise Garcia, if you don't know by now. We've been doing this for a while, a couple months.
I know, welcome to the summer.
I know, well, it's like super cloudy and cold today, so definitely not sunny SoCal.
Hey, welcome to the month of June, which by the way is my birthday month and your birthday month.
It's a pretty big month.
Huge month. June 5, I will turn 21. June 22nd, you will turn 53?
18.
18,
Yeah.
Okay.
So, finally legal.
Congratulations. Hey, congratulations.
Can't drink yet, but
It's okay, you can smoke and gamble, whatever.
hey, yeah, that's good enough for me, right?
Still go to Vegas.
Yeah. Well, you can't, but the fun part about Vegas, you can't gamble in Vegas at 18.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, by the way, guys, if you want to send Elise a birthday gift, here is her address. No. You can visit
And
her
my
number.
cell phone number. Wasn't there someone, who was it, not too long ago, that tweeted out, or someone on The Voice, one of the judges, I think, actually gave out what the other judge's phone number.
Wow. Is that illegal?
I feel like it's legal.
It could be illegal. If you're a public figure, you give out a phone number of a public figure, that could be illegal.
I don't know. Let's just call up our counsel.
Our legal expert.
Yeah, and find out. Anyways, let's get to the topic this week. We're talking about the Dodgers, then we'll talk about some football, and then at the very end, we will talk about your favorite thing.
Speaking of The Voice, reality shows.
Reality shows.
Yeah.
But first up, okay, so the Dodgers right now, they got off to a great start. They were the first team to play, I don't know how many games before everybody else. They were in the lead. They were doing great. They were number one. Same thing that happened last year is now happening to our LA team. They started up at the top. Now they are in third place behind the Rockies and the Giants. I don't know how many games behind. Last time I checked, it was 4.5.
Behind who? Who was that team in second place?
The Rockies and the Giants.
The Rockies.
I know.
Okay, the Rockies. Okay, you did say Rockies.
Yes, you
Good.
can go back to Colorado and enjoy them there.
Okay. Ouch.
You know the traffic on the 5, there would be one less person driving.
That was kind of weak. And also kind of cruel. Jeez. All right.
It's okay, I stand up for my host.
Wow.
Anyways, what's going on? They were in this position last year. Puig came in, he revitalized the team. They came back to win the NL Division West title. Obviously not the World Series, but they ended up improving their stats quite a bit in their standings. Can this happen again this year?
No. Look, if we had done this a couple weeks ago, I would have said, hey, Alex Guerrero could be the new Yasiel Puig. He can invigorate them when he gets called up. He's not going to get called up for a while because he's missing a piece of his ear. Okay, so he's
Don't worry, I'm going to go so far as to bite your ear, Bobby.
he's done for a while. So what we've got going on now, Arue Barrena
That
is...
affects his hearing.
I think it affects...
Actually, no.
I think it affects, I just assume it affects balance and stuff like that. And so the reason he's out for 6 weeks, not only do they have to literally do a ton of surgery, but I think it affects your equilibrium when you get, I would assume.
It's so sad. I feel so terrible.
I mean, that's a serious injury.
Yeah.
But the point for the Dodgers is, we talked about him last week, but the point for the Dodgers is he's not coming up, and he was doing very well in AAA. They lose Uribe, which is just a temporary loss, but it still hurts.
Right.
And he will not be there to replace him. And I wonder, the starting pitching is doing pretty well. Ryu's doing fine. Kershaw's back and he'll be fine. Dan Herron is surprisingly doing very well. Maholm's been kind of a disaster, but he's always been a spot starter and needs to go to the bullpen.
Yeah.
The bullpen is the issue.
I think it's hilarious that at this point they've even had to go in and put in Drew Butera
Twice.
He's the backup catcher for the Dodgers, and a great guy. I've met him. He's super sweet. But the fact, and he pitched really well, actually, surprisingly.
Well, the first time,
yeah. So, but it's just, what is going on? And it goes to show you again, on paper before the season, it looked as if the bullpen was going to be doing pretty well, and they haven't even gotten off to, the bullpen has not gotten off to a good start. Brian Wilson, what happened to him? Kenley Jansen.
Yeah. Well, hey, there are a couple people we need to shout out in the bullpen. Chris Withrow, his worst name is tough to say. Withrow, doing very well, putting up great stats.
Very well.
He has been. He's throwing very well. Our man Jamie Wright, we joked about earlier, he's 100 years old. He's dominant. Good for Jamie.
Hey, he's got the experience, right?
And hey, listen, this is for people on Twitter because everybody criticizes Brandon League. I don't hear you criticizing Brandon League right now. Dude's got an ERA of 1.
Yeah.
That's dominant, so you better apologize to Brandon League. But besides those three, the bullpen is scuffling. Thank God Kershaw's back.
Goes to show you that, thank God he is back. Goes to show you that you're only as good as your last game.
That's true. And the
Just
Dodgers
like in
last few
any, like,
games-
you know, you're only good as your last movie, you're only as good as this, you're only as good as that, we're only as good as our last episode.
That's true. Last episode was pretty good because I led it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just getting you back.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but, you know, people are watching it, so they'll put in their votes soon.
The biggest point on the Dodgers for me, Dodger fans, it's time to worry. It's a third of the way through the season. Maybe you disagree, but it's a third of the way through the season. We are past the point. The Rockies got off to a fast start, and everybody said, oh, it's a fluke. They don't pitch. Well, they're hanging around. We're a third of the way through the season. This is past the fluke point. The Giants, we knew were going to be good. They're hanging around in first base, past the fluke point. Those two teams are for real. The Dodgers now have to piggyback over two teams to win the NL West. I know there's obviously plenty of time to go.
Yeah, I think anything can
But it's
happen.
real.
I mean, we've got all of summer left.
I know, you
Yeah,
got
I think
100
the
games
team
left,
should
but
be,
still.
You know, worrying and kind of looking at plan B, but I don't think they should be freaking out just yet.
No, the Rangers should be freaking out. We'll talk about the AL West next episode. The Dodgers aren't in the Rangers' position, but it's real for the Dodgers. Those two teams are not going to go
Yeah.
away. Thankfully, Arizona is awful and will probably stay awful.
bad.
And I don't think San Diego is going to end up making a run, although I thought they could earlier. Maybe they will. They're not that far off. But Dodgers, it's time to worry.
All right, speaking of you're only as good as how you are in the last game, last movie, last paper, or on paper, coverage of the 2014 NFL Draft was watched by 47.2 million people, more than 9.6 million tweets sent. It's the most ever in draft history. They're drafting guys from college who have only played in college, so you're only as good as your college career, into a professional sports team. What does this mean that, you know, it's the most watched ever in history? Is it because people are actually interested, or is it because that's the only thing that's on and people have nothing else to watch and nothing else better to do with their time?
I think it's a little of both. Look at when it comes up here in May. They delayed it a couple weeks. It used to be in the end of April. There's not a lot on television. College basketball is done. Pro basketball is in the playoffs, but very early on. Baseball hasn't heated up yet, so there's not a lot to watch, so the NFL can take advantage of that. I think it's totally irrelevant. I hate it. Yes, I watched some of the first round because we talk about it and I'm interested in it and whatever, but these guys have never played in the NFL. You don't know how they're going to turn out. Mel Kiper and, you know, God bless those guys for doing what they do, but it's a crapshoot. You know, they're not experts. They know more than I do about these prospects. They still don't know everything. It's a crapshoot. But I understand how fans, if you're a fan of, let's say the Raiders, because there's a lot of them, if you're a Raiders fan, you play 16 games during the regular season, and every week is die hard, and maybe every preseason game, if you're die hard, you want to win anyways.
Right.
This is your off-season game. This is the game where for 3 days in May, you can say, did we win? Did we lose? Let's evaluate how we did, and it goes into the summer. So I understand that it's big. I understand that it's interesting. I just don't find it interesting.
Yeah, I just think it's kind of pointless. Like we see in any other sport, you've only seen these players play in their respective division or respective school and section. So like, you don't know how it's going to turn out. And just like how we talked about AP Top 25.
Yeah.
The season, the rankings before the season and the standings before the season starts is always kind of like a crapshoot anyways. Hardly ever does the first team that is projected to win, hardly ever do they actually win.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like stats on paper. On paper it looks nice, but the reality is like until you start playing.
Well, hey, look at this. From a business standpoint, basketball and baseball are getting a piece of this action. Basketball's draft's a big deal anyways, but they're trying to make it a bigger deal. And baseball's draft is on MLB Network now. They're going to carry the first couple rounds at least. So they're seeing the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, if you get good ratings and if you're getting people to watch it, why not? It makes complete business sense. Although I think it's absolutely ludicrous. But hey, if you're making money, no one's going to complain.
Speaking of making money, let's talk reality TV.
Yes, reality TV is a great way for people to make money and also probably ruin their reputation and what else.
If you want to make money and ruin your reputation, kids, go into reality TV.
Yeah,
I like that. That was a good PSA.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, if we had a reality show, A, what would we call it? And B, what would we do? Because I have an idea.
What's the idea?
Okay. We would call it, well, let me wait on what we would call it, but what we would do is we'd have an antique shop. You and I, we would own an antique shop, and the reality show would be the stories of the people who come into the antique shop. So you know how
like the most boring.
No, but like you know how like Pawn Stars, they have the shop, but they like just sell that story's about the items, like what people are selling or whatever. This story is about the people. And people come into the antique shop looking to buy antiques, and then we get involved in their lives, and we go help them do stuff. So like some guy who's like trying to come in and buy antiques, like his son has stopped talking to him because, I don't know, something happened in college or whatever, and his son doesn't talk to him anymore. And we get involved in the guy's life, and we go reconcile his relationship with him and his son.
See, I got actually kind of excited before you said this because I thought you were going to talk about like a sports reality
No,
show.
the antique thing is gold.
I
mean, that's a pretty good idea.
someone that sold antiques. That's like an antique
Dealer?
No. When you last call for
Like an auctioneer.
Auctioneer,
Okay.
yes. So, but actually, one of my best friends, her dad sells antiques, and she's involved with the business as well.
So does she get involved with people's lives when they come into the store?
It's not a store. They're like worldwide. They're a whole nother level.
Oh, it's a different. Oh, excuse me. I at least knows rich people. I'm just envisioning a storefront somewhere in here in La Mirada.
Storefront, brick and mortar. Who is that anymore?
But that would be the reality show. That's a great reality. Fine. You know what? Let's just go to the top.
All right,
You don't
let us
like
know
my
what you
reality
think
show.
about that. But let's actually talk about interesting reality shows.
Wow. Whoa.
Train wrecks, maybe. I don't know. What reality show that has had a sports star in it has that actually elevated the sports star's fandom and also maybe performance on the field?
None. I'm thinking Eric Decker, Lamar Odom, Terrell Owens,
I think with
Chad Ochocinco. None.
Eric Decker, I think it came at a great time though for him because it was when they were going to go to the Super Bowl. So it was kind of like, oh, okay, it's a lot of talk around him, and so they got people interested in the Broncos and in Eric Decker and his wife and all this stuff. So
It's affected guys before. Remember, Lala, Carmelo Anthony's wife, had that reality show, whatever it was called, and that was part of the impetus for Carmelo wanting to leave Denver and go to New York to be in a bigger media market to take advantage of stuff like that. Hey, Carmelo, how'd that work out for you? Not good.
Yeah.
So guys are making bad decisions because of reality shows, not good decisions. I hate it. If you're an athlete, do not go on a reality show. You have a commitment to a team. You're being paid millions of dollars. Hey, give me like $1 million a year. I'll just commit to the team. I won't be in reality.
I don't know. I think it's a different story when people come to you with a big paycheck and a big payday at the end of the day. If you were playing professional baseball right now, someone came to you and offered you $50 million. You would say no?
I would say no. No. I would say one or the other. If somebody offered me $50 million for a reality show, I would say, okay, I'm going to quit baseball, do this show. If they said, no, you can only do the show because of baseball, I'm going to say, well, guess what? I'm a baseball player. See you later.
I think you could do both if it's in the off season. It could be around your off season life.
You have a commitment. You have a commitment to make. Colorado Rockies shortstop.
But it's the same thing as Kobe with his Kobe Inc.
Exactly, it's the same thing. You have a commitment on the field.
Yeah, so if you can still perform on the field, you can definitely, whatever you do in your off time, it's like this is your profession, it's your job. It's like what you do after your 9-to-5 job. Who cares? It has nothing to do.
Until it starts affecting the performance of your 9-to-5 job.
If it affects the performance, then let's chat. But if it doesn't and it only helps you.
And by the way, people do care what you do outside of your 9-to-5 job. If you're doing crack, like Lamar Odom was apparently doing in his reality, that's different. But, okay, here's my example for this. Rocky shortstop Troy Tulowitzki is a monster on the field, maybe the best player in baseball right now, honestly. During the season, he just had a baby with his wife. During the season, do you know what he does?
So intense.
He doesn't take care of the baby at all. Doesn't change a diaper.
I mean, that says a lot about other things.
Oh, sure.
But.
No, this is over the top priorities, but he knows that his priority in the season is the season. Now, is that right? Maybe not. Maybe he goes a little too far.
I will not see my baby until the off season. You know what? Don't even call me to let me know how he is.
But that he's like, the wife just takes care of that, and she knows. And hey, that's fine. It's a little intense. But my point is, that's the kind of example, a little over the top, but that's a hyperbolic example of your priority is the season, your first priority is the team, aside from your family. Like we talked about a couple weeks ago, the Mets guy going and getting paternity leave. Do you remember that debate a few weeks ago?
Right.
The Mets player got paternity leave and left for a few days. That's okay. Your family's first. But reality show is not on that priority list. The season, the team, your job comes before all that crap. No reality shows for professional athletes. If I were a GM, I would go this far. If I were a GM, and I'm not, but if I were, I would either sign into everybody's contract that you cannot be on a reality show while you are on our team, and if they are, release them or trade them or get rid of them.
I think I think it brings interest to the team, and if in the end, if they can prove that there's going to be some benefit, maybe increased jersey sales or increased revenue to the team, I think you can make a case for it.
What did Al Davis say? What was he famous for saying?
I don't know.
Just win, baby.
That's true.
That's your only job. Just win. And my point with these reality shows, if you are the greatest player in your league, if you're Troy Tulowitzki or Miguel Cabrera in baseball, the best player in your league, then you can do a reality show assuming you stay the best player. But if you're not the best player, you need to work until you become the best player, and you can't do a reality show. Unrealistic to be the best player? Okay,
yeah,
you can't do a reality show.
Yeah.
Sorry, then no reality show. Problem solved.
Obviously, Bobby is very passionate about his opinion, but we want to know what you guys think. Reality show, yay or nay? Let us know what you think about the Dodgers. Do you think they can add some spunk and spice back into their season? And yeah, follow us on Twitter, tweet us, tickle us, comment to us, whatever you want to do.
Tickle us.
Get a hold of us. We will be here to respond and tweet you back. So yeah, we'll catch you next week.